So let's have a quick look at sniping. Sniping is the strategy where you don't bid early. What you do is you wait till really close to the end point and then you bid. So here is an auction that is finishing in 1 hour and 22 minutes and 2 seconds. So this has been on my list for a while. I haven't really bid on it. I've seen it come up, so I'm probably going to try and bid on this one if the price doesn't go too high. So what we need to do is, hopefully you're planning this in advance. So you're waiting until close to the point that the auction is finishing. And then what we have to do is double check that the price that we want to pay is still a good one. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take this and I'm going to just do the normal due diligence to search on eBay. What I want to check is there anything else listed that is lower priced than that? So there's an instruction manual. Here is one on the PS2. That one there is on the Xbox. But this one's got 5 days left to go. Then this one is in the hour. That's the one we're watching. So it's currently one of the lowest priced ones on eBay. So that means it's still a good one to bid on. If I miss it, it's not so much of a problem. If I now do search by ending soonest, we can see that this is interesting. So there's one finishing in an hour that currently has 8 bids and has gone up to £5.50. So there might be a race war on this because some of these people might go, I really want to buy that. It was only almost at the same time, so they might switch over to this one. In fact, that finishes today. So 8 minutes after this one finishes, so people might jump over and bid on this one. So we might see a race war here. So even if I wait till the time, we might not snipe on this. Otherwise, there's some buy it nows, instruction booklet, lowest in there is £8.95, so if it wasn't there, it's £8.95. But there's plenty copies of this on here. There's plenty of things to bid on, so there's no rush for this. Remember, one of the things we want is to be patient. I could be patient for this. The other thing I want to check is, has the average price that it's sold for changed? So let's have a look at completed listings, and let's search for lowest price, because we're aiming for bargains, so we want to evaluate against the lowest prices. So this one went for £2.29. That was on the Xbox. So pretty much the same thing. It's going for £2.29. That's the lowest that we've got it in our list. That's £2.50. So if you get it for about £2.50, looks like that's the right price. If you get it for lower than that, then great. Now many of these are one bid items, so it's not really getting auction races, which is why the one that we just saw that's ending in an hour that's up at £5.99 is interesting. Not sure why that is. So we don't really want to pay too much. We don't want to pay over the odds. If it came up as buy now and I really wanted it, then I could get it. But really it's going for about £2.50, £3. So that's probably my limit. And my limit in reality is about £2.50. So I'm just jumping back here because I'm interested in why on earth this one is going for so much. Because it's acceptable condition. One of the things we want to get in the habit of doing is looking at the condition that it's been marked as. Acceptable isn't great condition. The photo there, that looks pretty good. I'm not sure why it's marked as acceptable. That looks pretty good condition. So I have no idea why this one has gone through a race war. Nothing there makes any sense. So what we're going to do, having done our due diligence, is we're going to set a limit of £2.50 for this. There are pieces of software that will supposedly help you Skype. I used to use one called Auction Sentry, ran on the desktop. I'd put in my auctions I was interested in, put in the minimum prices, and it would snipe a couple of seconds before the end. It's a really good chance of winning. But because eBay kept changing their API and the way that you bid, the software needed to be constantly updated. Eventually it got bought by someone else. It wasn't updated very well. Kept losing auctions. I just dropped it. There are other software in the cloud that will supposedly help you. I just don't use them. Now I just do manual testing because I'm much more patient about what I'm bidding for. And you saw when I was doing the due diligence there, I didn't really need to get this one. So I'm going to add this time into my calendar. Now this is at almost 6 o'clock, so people are sitting down for their evening meal or they're commuting. I'm not expecting to see a lot of bids on this, so it really depends how much this person has put in as their maximum bid. Now the opening bid was £2, they've put in £2, they might have put in £3, £4, £5. I don't know what they're prepared to pay. Now I can have a quick look at their bidding history, but I don't see very much information. I can see that they've bid on this seller before. They normally only make 1 or 2 bids, so they don't seem to sit around and watch the price and re-snipe if it changes. So if they've put in a low bid and we snipe with a high bid, we might just win against them. But they do seem to bid early, so because they're winning with 1 bid, they might well be bidding high. I think there's a strong chance we won't get this for 250, but I'm going to put a time in my calendar, and if I remember, we'll see what it takes to actually bid on an auction in sniping. And if I don't remember, that's one of the things that happens when you manually snipe, and we'll see it on video, and it will just be a cautionary tale to you. For me, it's going to be 1 hour and 50 minutes. For you, it's going to be about a second. And I'm back. I've just had an alert on my phone reminding me to come back, which is what I'm doing now. You can see that we've still only got 1 bidder. The auction ends in 8 minutes. Now, the other one that we noticed during the due diligence is still ongoing and has got 48 seconds left. Now, that is going up to £6.50 already, which is interesting. So even at this late stage, people are not quite sniping, but they're bidding late and getting in there. So I thought I'd have this open at the same time, because what I'm interested in seeing is, do people from this auction, because it's so close and it's the same product, jump over into the other one if they don't get it? I want to see what this one gets to. And the reason I'm keeping an eye on it in the other tab is if it goes over the price that I want, then I'll just drop out and leave it, because 250 is all I'm going to bid, and that includes postage. Fortunately, this is a free postage bid, so that's gone for £6.50, which I find is insane given the due diligence we saw. No one needs to pay £6.50 for that game. Looking at the bids, £6.50, you can see that it looks like someone did try to snipe it there, but they came in after. That's that same person. So it looks like this guy really wanted it. Odd. He could have waited and jumped over into this one. Okay, so I'm going to put it on pause for the moment. Doesn't look like anyone's jumping across, but you can see I'm monitoring it. I checked this one. It's important to have the tab up and be ready to go. So I've got a minute to go, and no one else has bid yet. Now, I have no idea what this person who has currently bid has actually put as their maximum bid. So I might have waited all this time to put in a bid that isn't accepted, and that's what happens. So as we get closer to the time, what I'm going to do is I'm going to hit the submit button, and then I'm going to enter my amount. Now, I generally wait until about 10 seconds before I actually hit the bid mark. So I'm going to put in 250. Now, I will see this change if anyone does bid. The reason I leave till about 10 seconds is it gives us a chance to actually submit the amount and see if it's actually going through. So let's go on there, 7 seconds. I've been outbid. So they bid more. So what you've seen there is essentially a failed snipe. And that's what, when we looked at their bidding history, thought might happen, right? Because that person is used to doing 1 bid and winning. So they're probably bidding high. This isn't a disaster for me simply because there are plenty more options out there, and I've added a few of them into my watch list. So the way you do that, pick an item, click the watch or watch list, watching, and it goes in your watch list. Then up in eBay, you can actually see your watch list, and you'll see all the things that you're currently watching that you might want to bid on. And I've got a bunch of time splitters in there that I'm watching that are still under £2.50, and I will eventually get this for under £2.50 because I'm not desperate for it. If it comes up on the Xbox or the PS2, I'm fine with either one. Hopefully I'll record a successful snipe and you can see it, but it's important to realize snipes fail. Even if I'd done that automatically, it would have failed because that person didn't rebid manually. That person had put in an amount, and eBay automatically up their amount to whatever it takes to go over my snipe, but remain less than their total bid. So they put in a big bid, they won. Good for them.